Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin with Elliott Wave Theory. First, let's take a look at this intermediate time frame for our time frame, and again checking out the higher time frame ideas that we've had. One of them is that we have had this as an ABC and we have started a continuation to the downside. Whether this is going to be a three-way structure, we're going to be seeing that later, or again, if we invalidate the highs here, then this is not the case. Again, to me, if this was a ABC, I think it has a very good chance of ending here, and I don't think it looks very good if it is continuing upwards, because again, this structure here is going to be so large in comparison to anything else. Even currently, we would have to agree that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, making a bit different proportions inside that C wave as a mandatory thing for this count to be happening. But again, just another possibility. Another way of looking at this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, having this whole thing finished up in here. Again, very similar to that ABC count, at which again, I don't think we should invalidate this high here of around 31.1k, because again, if it does, or if it does basically, then it most likely is going to have an upside continuation, and this is not the count at which we would be expecting that to happen. Overall, the ideas have been something like this, in which we had an A, B, and then looking for that C wave. Again, based on the counts that I just showed you, the ABC or the bearish 5-way structure, we could have already this finished. If this indeed is a 3-way structure, then this whole thing is an WXY instead of an ABC. But again, in my opinion, this looks very decent as is, as a continuation, or at least the ending of that potential 5-wave here. Now, everything depends on this structure here, very locally, and we'll see how that turns out in, well, very shortly. Today is going to be the FOMC, and the federal fund rates are going to be shown again, and we'll see what kind of direction the market is going. We'll see that if, again, it's going to be good news for the markets, then I think this has very good chance to be broken. Again, that is less than 10% away at this point. I'm not saying that we need to be getting this in one day or anything, but it's just if we get a continuation to the upside, I feel like this has a very slight chance of holding. Mega bull count, while this is not my favorite one, this is indicating or saying that we have had a low here on November 2022. This then again 5 ways into one, 3-way pullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a wave 1. So instead of an ABC, this would be a 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing on RSI is invalidating that idea. So again, this is something to keep in mind. For this one to happen, I would like it to come back below the 38.2, so we can look for long setups. And at that point, again, we would be getting a massive extension upwards. And if this indeed is a 1, 2, 1, 2, well, this would be 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, and 5, and again we are very close to the all-time highs at that point. Not my favorite, because I don't think it is that likely, because for me, in order this count to be happening, we would have to have a WXYXZ count ending at these lows, which is again less probable to me. But I'm going to be trading these smaller time frames anyway, so it does not really matter. So if I see a good looking 5-wave here and 3-way pullback, and I could be looking for long setups. If it turns out to be that massive gainer, happy days, but in any case, I would be making money. Now, let's take a look at the local structures here. As we went through previously on the previous video, I'm still not quite sure how I should be labeling this. This is potential of 1, 2, 3, or an ABC into these lows, 4 and 5 maybe. And again, if this is not a 4, 5, then this would be an A, B, and C. Again, the pumps and dumps here are not really good for Elliott Wave, especially when we can't really clarify whether they are in 5 or in 3. At this point, again, since we have not taken out any of the highs here or any of the lows, we can't really confirm what structures these are. Could it be a 3-way structure downwards? Sure, it could. Could it be a 5-wave? Yeah, why not? I mean, there is like this kind of structure here. I can clearly, or I'm still able to label it like that. So overall, I won't be focusing on this. I'm much rather kind of ignoring this area until I get a clarification here locally. And at this point again, this looks the best as a structure for now. Some kind of far-away move here coming down. We do get that divergence at the end, and since then again we've been climbing up. This area here was an area of interest for sure. We took out liquidity from previous lows here, and again we were getting closer to that 0.5 and golden pocket, and after which again we created a kind of sideways range here, which in my opinion looks best as some kind of running flat here overall, and then we got another move up. Is it possible that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes, it is completely possible. It's possible to have it from here as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at which again this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 like so, and then we would be now correcting that. Three-way structure coming down looks very decent, and now we are getting some kind of move to the upside. However, to me, it kind of looks like we need another leg downwards to have this as a connecting structure, connecting this structure over here again. So my idea of going long would be later on, but at the moment I'm still on the short side on this one, because again we came back towards the previous resistance here, and again we were creating these divergences here on RSI as well. So again, interesting level here for sure, and again divergences confirming that at least some kind of momentum is about to change, and we did get some kind of move down. I have not taken profits on that. If I'm going to be getting stopped out, then that's it, but in my opinion again I would like to have a continuation to the downside before anything else. Compare this to ETH. Again on ETH, I think this looked very nice as a 5-way structure. Wave 4, very large, has the potential of ending here as well with an ending diagonal. I don't mind about that at all. However, here we can confirm that this is not a start of anything, at least in 5 waves. So again, it's kind of hard to say what this would be a part of though, on the other hand. So I kind of like this being a 5th wave. On other altcoins we can see this dump as well, and it kind of fits on there as well how this would be a 5th wave coming down. So overall some of the altcoins have rallied up a bit more and are, well, basically at least above here. So they could be looking for, or we could be looking for short setups downwards at that point. Because again, if this is a 5 wave, I think we need at least one more leg downwards, creating a structure like that overall. So what do we have here? I think this is, again, looks very 3-wave-ish in my opinion. Again, I don't expect it to be a 5. And that's basically that. On RSI, this is the lowest low here, this area. So again, 3 here, 3 here, and then 5, creating a flat structure somewhere in here. And now we be potentially looking for a continuation to the upside. At this point, again, same with Bitcoin, we can be labeling this in 5 waves as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a structure of very similar structures. Again, we held the potential previous wave 4 lows here, which is a bit different than on Bitcoin, because I kind of like this already being finished. ETH still has a chance to rally up a bit more. We don't really have a good looking divergence. We have slight divergence here on just one high here, but not the best. Again, this came down in 3 waves, which could again signify, well, basically tell us that there could be a move to the upside. But if I'm expecting Bitcoin to do a structure coming down, then I'm expecting ETH to do that as well, and only then I would be interested in going long. Again, that long would be based on the expectation that we are going to be getting a partner leg for this structure over here, something like this. And of course, depending on where you're going to be pivoting it, 1-to-1 is currently right at the 0.5, right at where we have the previous highs at, which again means liquidity in the form of stop losses for the short side. So again, could be a decent area to look for as a target, at least for here, or as a short area of entry to the downside. Of course, it does not mean that if we come up here we need to insta short, because again we want to be seeing that swing failure pattern forming, and even a retest of some of these levels that it is creating in here, and then we could be looking for downside again more. But yeah, kind of different looking structures, but on both I'm expecting some kind of correction to be made first and then a potential continuation to the upside. If we are going to be doing something like this on ETH, I'm not quite sure how far this is going to go on Bitcoin, but again, these highs are again one of the targets around 30k. We'll see if this holds, and if it actually extends up higher, taking out the highs of 31k, it would be kind of weird in my opinion. I would not expect that, because again I see this more as a 5 wave than a 3 wave on multiple coins, not only Bitcoin but also on ETH and multiple altcoins. So my expectation overall since these highs is to the downside, although I might want to be getting a bullish bias here locally and then down again. But those are the plans that I'm going to go forward with. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments, and if you want to educate yourself, check out the following advertisements. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye. Couple of advertisements here: Patreon Elliott Wave Basics course, weekly live streams and more Elliott Wave analysis. Udemy Elliott Wave Advanced course, including RSI, risk management, Elliott Wave strategies and time analysis, and counter trend capital, trade setups, education and community. Check us out if you're interested in learning more.